Oh God! All right, it's been a long time. I'm sorry. I went to the store to get some milk, and I just, that was ridiculous. No, I wanted to go start a whole new life somewhere else. I'm sorry it was without you, but no, I've just I've been recording this video is what it is. Let me tell you why. So I figured the first time that I make a video in what, 8, 9, no, it's been less than 9 months, right? Definitely been less than a year. I don't even know how many months it's been actually. It's been a long time. So the first time that I make a video in a long time, I figured it would be good to actually show you guys how to record a video that, for the most part, usually takes a long time, specifically time lapses. You know what they are, I know what they are, but I wanted to show you guys how to record 100-day, 200-day, maybe even a year-long time lapse with this guy. So, roll the intro. Okay, so time lapses. Everybody pretty much knows what they are, right? I mean, it's a good way to show the passage of time in any sort of video. Most vloggers use them. Sometimes you find it in movies, things like that, TV shows. They're very, very common. But today I wanted to show you guys the best way that I've found to record time lapses over a super extended period of time. Recently, I wanted to record a time lapse of the tree that's right outside my window as the blossoms came in for the spring. This is called an intervalometer. Essentially, it's just a shutter release remote control for your camera. But what you can do with this thing is set it up and it takes a picture every X minutes, right? X seconds. And what you would then do is, with each of those pictures, put them out on a timeline and create your time lapse. I find that it's a really good way to actually save memory, and you can get some really cool effects actually that you can't quite do with video only, which is what most people would normally do anyways. However, for such an extended period of time, I personally wouldn't want to tie up this camera, let's say, just, looking out the window. You'd hear the shutter going off every 5 seconds, 5 minutes. That's just annoying. For time lapses specifically, you need patience because you just by definition need a lot of time to lapse. So I figured the one camera that I have outside of my phone, outside of this one right here, is the GoPro. And oftentimes the GoPro is just kind of sitting idly on a shelf and it's not really doing anything. So I figured it would be good to just set it up on a window and record. So to do this, you'll need a number of things. One, a GoPro, obviously. A charging cable of sorts, whether it be the GoPro one or a micro USB. Either a wall outlet or a portable battery, depending on how long you want the time lapse to run for. And some sort of stability for the GoPro. And the final and most important thing is just time. Oh, actually, and a memory card that's empty. You're gonna need a lot of memory. So to do this, you're gonna wanna go to night lapse mode. And these are the settings that I used, but feel free to tweak them around, do whatever you want with them. I set my shutter to auto, the interval to every 5 minutes. Now, something to keep in mind when you're setting the interval for the GoPro and for the time lapse is how long you want the video to be and how long you plan on leaving it out. So if you set the interval to, let's say, 5 minutes, where the GoPro takes an image every 5 minutes, that means that 12 images are gonna be taken per hour. So if you're doing a 24 frames per second timeline, that means every 2 hours is gonna be 1 second of your time lapse. So just keep that in mind. Conversely, if you plan on setting it out for, let's say, a month, 2 months, if you're really crazy, even a year, you might want to do something like every 30 minutes, where every 2 days at that point would be 1 second of your video. And for me personally, I set the field of view to wide just because I wanted a wide shot. But again, that's up to you, whatever you guys decide you want to do. So finally, set it up in a stable spot. You don't want it to be somewhere where people are going to be able to accidentally bump into it. Anyone's going to touch it. Anyone's going to get in front of it too often, or it's going to be blocked. In fact, I would almost recommend putting it somewhere where you'll just completely forget about it and lose it. And then you just leave it. I mean, you just don't look at it, don't touch it, don't even breathe on it, and just let it do its thing. Maybe set a reminder in your calendar, but besides that, go about your life. After you've taken the time lapse, you're about halfway through, I'd say, because you still got a couple more steps. But for that, we're actually gonna have to go to my computer, which means that I'm gonna have to set all of this back up, but at my desk. So we're now behind my computer, under my bed where all the real magic happens, and we're just gonna get right into editing these. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is import all of your images into Lightroom. This is mainly so that we can make profile adjustments, color adjustments. Really, if you were to look at just one image taken by the GoPro, what adjustments would you make to it? So this is your time to actually add your own color corrections, curves, bump the contrast. So yeah, if you guys haven't done this with a GoPro, this is like one of the most fun things ever to actually see that when you enable profile corrections, there's like a crazy amount of just distortion removal and stuff like that. So keep in mind that we shot this totally wide. So everybody knows that GoPro tends to have a really warped and just gross looking distortion to it. But when we enable profile corrections, in this case in Lightroom, a lot of that goes away and it's really cool to see. So we're gonna go in, and for this particular time lapse, we're not gonna do anything too crazy. And really you're just gonna do whatever edits that you prefer to an image, and that's gonna be more or less it. So if we look at mine right here, here's the before, here's the after, already way better. So from here, what you're gonna wanna do is, after you've applied all your edits to the first image, you're gonna come down and go to develop settings, copy settings, make sure check all is checked. Select the second image and go all the way to the end. And here you're gonna shift, click, and now you've got every single image in the timeline, or every single image that the GoPro took throughout the entire time lapse selected. And you're gonna go in and right click, go up to develop settings and paste settings. So in this case, I've already actually edited all of these images, since, you know, this is from the time lapse that I already went ahead and edited and recorded and everything. So it's gonna take a little bit for your edits to apply across, in this case, what, 5,986 photos. So just leave it be. You know, it'll take a little bit. Again, patience is key when it comes to time lapses. Now, once the edits have been applied to all of your images, what you're gonna wanna do is come back and select the first image, and once again, go all the way to the end, and now you've got all of your images selected. So what you wanna do from here is come up to File, Export, and I've already got a folder set where I'm gonna export every single image to. So from there, you're gonna go to Export, and again, it's just a waiting game. This one is gonna take a long time. Again, depending on how many images you have, how many images you need to export, your computer, there's a couple factors that come into play here. You're just gonna have to wait. That's really sort of the name of the game in this case. Once all of your images have exported, you should have just a crazy number of images, and you're gonna want them all in just the one folder, right? From here, you're gonna go ahead and launch Premiere Pro and open up a brand new sequence. Once you've got that set up, you wanna come up to File, Import, and you should, in this case, already have your folder with all of your stills. You select the first image in the whole folder. In this case, come down to Options, make sure that Image Sequence is in fact checked, and you just come into Export. So from here, you should have a brand new item in your project bin, and you're just gonna drop it in the timeline, and you've got your time lapse. So that's more or less it. Obviously it's a time-consuming process, but as you can see, once you put in the time and you just let it run, and after you do all of your processing of the images, and once you actually get it on your timeline, it's so much fun to see. So I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and hopefully I'm able to make more videos for you guys coming up, right? I've been just ridiculously busy with all kinds of other stuff. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys post any cool time lapses anywhere, tag me in them. You can use my Instagram at IGJason. I'll probably have it up here. Or I don't know, shoot me a link like in the comments down below. I'd love to see what you guys are shooting. I'm learning, and as I learn, I'll just keep showing you guys what I'm learning. And all right, I'll talk to you guys.